Good morning, infidels. Trying to see if this thing's working properly. Hey, I am actually on a nice little spot right here. It's flat for once. But there's the high wall, and there's the overburden, and there it drops off to China over there. So anyway, well, you can see the tops of those trees. They're well over 100-foot tall trees, so you can see the difference in elevation. But anyway, I got that bank done, so I'm up here cutting some fastwood. And yes, I am in doozy. And the reason being is the bearings went out of the rotator in Kimmy on the grapple head. Well, the bearings, what happened is the bearing, the preload not loosened on it. It's got like a wheel bearing spindle in it. I was going to try and get some vids of it, but they already got it back together. Ryan and Jess are working on that now. But so basically, out of desperation, I said I'm going to try. I'm just going to take the doozy back, and I'll cut by hand and shovel it. Well, I got monkeying around with it, and I was like, hell, this works pretty good. I can't believe how good this grapple head works for cutting trees down. Now you'll see. I'll make a video. You got to play with it a little bit. But my goodness, I have cut for the last 3 days with this thing, and just me and Mitch have been getting, 3 trail loads a day, and I'm only cutting for an hour and a half, 2 hours or something. I'm running out, process it, and loading and all that stuff, and doing everything else that we need to do. We're kind of very short-handed. I think we're going to have Ryan start helping us on the wood side of it more. We're finally getting caught up with some of this broken stuff that needed to be fixed. So anyway, it's been a struggle. But anyway, I just want to make a video. People say, hey, you like that Ryan's equipment stuff? I said, yeah, I really do. And it's just another thing that's so versatile. Now I can use this as a spare cutter when I need to. And the beauty of this big thing is, you can reach way down over these banks. This has got like a 36-foot reach, I think. It's like my other shovel. And, so you can reach way down the hills with it. And any of these cutting heads, even a hot saw, when you're on that steep of a bank working, you got to leave your stump higher. You put your cutter into the rock. So, but I don't particularly care about that. To be honest with you, if I was cutting anything by hand, I'd leave a high stump just so you don't have to bend over on the hill because you can't keep your balance. So whatever, that's irrelevant. But I want to make a little vid and show you how good this thing works. And this is a pretty good size soft maple. It's not a great quality soft maple, but it's pretty good size. So I'll double cut that a little bit, and let's see how this works. It's pretty good. I'm telling you what, I'm so thankful that I'm getting old. I can still cut by hand, but I'm not like Pete or some of these younger guys. I don't have the stamina to go all day. You know what I mean? I cut a couple loads by hand, and I'm done. I mean, just dumping them, not even limbing and topping. Just out of shape. I'm getting old, but I'm so thankful. This is really, it's pretty cool. You watch, see what you think. It just works good. I'm very kind of pretty amazed that it works as well as it does. I thought, I got to make a vid. I was going to do it yesterday, and I started, and the damn camera battery doesn't stay charged, I guess, if you don't use it. This is the problem right here. You got to play around to get it. Oh, I was having pretty good luck with the smaller trees. These bigger ones, it takes a little bit. Obviously, this is not an ideal situation, but and of course, I haven't had issues until I go to make a video, but you know how that goes, whatever. But this is the part that's pretty impressive, if you ask me. So I'm going to double cut this one. Try not to tear the butt up, because it is, said it's half decent. It's nothing to write home to mama about, but so that's a little bit, it's not ideal here, but either getting out with a chainsaw. So. best example of how I wanted it to work, but it still worked. Didn't tear it up too bad. Hey, good morning everybody. It's old Stump. A little depressed after this election, but we'll get on with life, I guess. See how much of the cheating's going on. Let it get counted. If the commies win fair and square, let them have it. As long as they behave themselves. Sad, but whatever. Hey, I wanted to show everybody. Kimmy, the bearings went out. Well, the bearings went out of the. Actually, they didn't go out. They loosened up on the rotator head, on the rotobeck swivel there in the head on Kimmy. So what I did, kind of out of desperation, the other day I brought Doozy back in. Just going to start cutting this stuff by hand and shoveling it, just to keep some money coming in. And I took a chance and I said, oh, I've cut a few trees with this before. And I started kind of playing around with it. Holy crap, it's working really well. It's kind of a pain in the ass. You can't just, like the cutting head, it flips up to cut. So you got to play with it a little bit. But I'll tell you what, I'm getting pretty good at it. And I'm telling you what, I've been cutting a lot of wood with this stupid little thing. And so it just shows the versatility. Folks, guys ask, oh, how do you like that? I was talking to Tater, called me the other night. Thanks, by the way, Tater, for calling and cheering me up, buddy. But anyway, we were talking, and he was asking me, how you liking it, Ryan's head? It's working good, this and that. So anyway, yeah, it is. It really is. The versatility of these heads, it's just, there's a few things that I'm not thrilled with on the wide part. It's not anything to do with the brand. It's just the style of the wide bucket. There's certain things I really, really like about it, and I'll tell you one of them here. I'll show you one. Like if you're trimming stuff, right? If you want to trim knots or branches, like the way this bucket folds up and sits down, see how nice and neat that is? You run your saw out, you probably can't even see that, but see how that works? You can't do that with the rotoback. See what I mean? That works really good for shit like that. But having the closed-in tines on the bottom is kind of a pain in the butt. When you go to pick stuff up, if anything pinches in them, you got to play around with it. But I mean, it's a few things. A few things are a little bit different than a regular bucket. But there's a lot of good. There's some pros and cons. But I do like the product. That's not a brand issue. That's just the style of this bucket issue. But I can't believe how well this thing is working for me, just cutting down. And so while Kimmy's being fixed, and of course I still haven't got this motor in the Timco, I gotta make do. And everybody, you guys know money is very tight. We're hanging on. We're doing, I guess, all right, considering it's been a rough few years anyway. Everybody knows that. I've made that clear. And then this pandemic stuff and this insane market fluctuations, market problems, it ain't fun. I mean, it's been hard. But we're hanging in there. My financiers, the banks have been absolutely wonderful to work with. No one's being rotten about this. Everybody understands that it's just an awful struggle. But all that's good. I got no problems. You know, I can't complain. I'm really ill about this election, but whatever. You know, it's what it is. We survived Obama. I guess we can survive this clown. It's not Biden that I'm worried about so much. I think Biden's wishy-washy enough. You know, I don't know. I do still see some modicum of patriotism in Biden, believe it or not. I just do. I don't particularly trust him, and certainly not my favorite. But the Kamala Harris and the squad is who we got to really watch. But having control of the Senate is going to help that too. So it ain't the end of the world, you know. It sucks, but whatever. We'll survive. We've been through worse, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys how this head works. It works pretty damn good for just, like I said, I just figured this out kind of out of desperation. So here's the part that kind of sucks. You got to flip it up, grab the tree, right? But once you get it on there, this thing works pretty damn good. Now, like I said, it ain't quite as efficient as the cutting head, because obviously you can flip it up and blah, 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 right? But I'll tell you what, it's a lot more efficient than my big fat old shriveled up ass getting out and cutting it by chainsaw. You know what I mean? So, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm actually, you know, kind of thrilled that it's working. So, we should have Kimmy going here in a few hours, I think, but they're going to change the oil and service it and stuff. Whatever, I'll finish up the week with this if I have to. I got a visitor coming, a little surprise. I got somebody visiting, and we're going to, speaking of shovels, we are going to do something to the John Deere shovel that I think is going to work really well. And I won't say much about it. I'll make a video. I think it'll be pretty interesting. But these swing machines are just beasts as far as power goes. You know, I mean, Kimmy's only a little 160. It'll handle this size stuff pretty good, but you get into big timber and it's struggling. I mean, it does good, but you know, a lot of times you got to dissect stuff and piss around with stuff. Where with this thing, it just grabs it and goes. You know, but so yeah, another plug for the Ryan stuff. I really like it. The versatility of it all is just, you know, really, really good. There's so many different things you can do. And here I've got basically a landing machine that's doubling now as a cut down, you know, which is pretty nice. Obviously, it's just uproot them if you can't cut them right. Don't matter, these are all going to be pulled anyway. This is going to be all buried in here, all up to that high wall. It'll be fun to come back and get a couple of videos of pushing this dirt. It's just going to be, I think they, it's going to be like a $2 million dirt project, which I can imagine. There's just, I don't know how many gazillions of yards of dirt are going to be pushed around in here. Can't even begin to imagine. Doesn't that work pretty damn slick for something that, you know, people say, hey, you're not supposed to do that? Well, okay. I did. Look at the stone, guys, in that high wall. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So doesn't this look like the areas where I was riding in West Virginia and I did those little videos about, hey, this looks like home, you know? I knew exactly what was going on. Look at that. anything really. Said pretty happy. I don't have to get out and do this by hand. I can, but I'm not very. I shouldn't say I'm not good at it. I can still cut pretty good, but boy, it wears me out. I cut a couple drags on the hill the other day that I couldn't get with this. It was too far of a reach, and it was about 60% slope, so I went up and... Jeez, look at that, huh? What a beast. So anyway, I went up and cut them. And tell you what, I did pretty good. I did better than I thought. I didn't have any chest pain. That's my problem, you know, with all the heart crap I've been through. I just don't want to get my ticker blown off. You know what I mean? But I didn't. I felt good. I was tired, but I don't know, I bet you I cut a half a truckload, really, probably 3 or 4 drags. Probably about a half an hour. I was jamming right along. It's hard to move fast when you can't stand up on a goddamn slope. It's too steep. You gotta poke yourself a hole. You know, you gotta dig your foot in sideways and dig yourself a little foothold to stand there. You just slide down the damn hill. You drop your saw, it rolls clear to the bottom. You gotta go get it. Well, there's my little demonstration for you. Looks pretty good. Certainly is nice for stuff like this and rocks and all kinds of neat stuff. Alright, I'm going to let you go. I'll try and make a couple of videos over the weekend. I got this little project I'm going to do with the other swing machine. I think you're going to dig it. And, Mitchie heading out with our drag. He's pretty much right on top of me. We're not skidding very far. We're only skidding probably, 1,500 feet, maybe not even, I don't know. We gotta put the chains back on that thing. Nah, it's just down a stump. Nice drag. Some nice maple. It's hard to believe the maple, if you see that big soft maple up on the corner, how clean it is in here. So we're getting some decent little clean maple butt logs off of stuff. And when it gets knotty, I just throw it into the pallet, scrag, you know, blocking, whatever you want to call it, scrag material. So, okay guys, ta-ta. Pray for Trumpy. I don't know. Hopefully we can eke it out, but I don't look too promising, so we'll deal with it. Ta-ta, y'all. Love y'all. Thank you for subscribing, comments. Give us a like. Tell your friends and neighbors. Yada, yada, yada. See you guys.